Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode here in Romania Culture Cars. We continue Motorsport International. With me is Niko Stefanov. Hello, Niko.
Hi.
Niko Stefanov, drift pilot, will tell us a couple of secrets about his motorsport career, results, achievements, and much more. Niko, let's start with a little describe about you.
So, hello from my side as well. Thank you for the introduction and thank you for having me here. I was really glad to get a message from you and then being able to jump in the call. So basically, my career started back in 2015, the official motorsport career. And before that, actually, I started doing radio control cars. And then I went to race with them in Bulgaria and won the RC Championship 2 or 3 times in 2007, 2008, and 9, I believe. And then after that, my dad bought an off-road buggy, and I started to put more hours driving them with them. And then I decided to go racing, a real racing. But then I didn't have the money to do that in Bulgaria, so that's why I moved abroad. I went to study in Austria, and I chose Graz because I saw that the Technical University in Graz, they are building a Formula student car. So in 2013, actually in 2011, I came to Graz, started learning German. And then, long story short, I started university, and then I went to the TU Graz racing team. Then we built to 13 and to 14 the car, and I went to race there in Switzerland, England, Germany, Austria. It was a pretty fun experience actually to drive that small Formula. It's extremely fast, I must say. This was mind blowing for me. And the most impressive thing was that we made the first transition to a big aero. And at the beginning of the season, we didn't have any aero or whatsoever. And then we did a couple of races. And after that, we introduced the aero packet. And it was insane how much grip that car had. It's like I was like blown away. You can turn into the curves like with, I don't know, with double the speed as before. Then 2015, I bought a Nissan 200 SX S13, a red S13, back from Bulgaria. So I flew back there, and then actually we bought it with a very good friend of mine because I didn't have the money for that. So we were studying together for exam, and we were so tired, and we were just, okay, let's make a break and let's go and search for cars, what is available. And we saw that in marketplace, and I was like, damn it, I have just the half of the money. And he's like, but I saved a bit more for like he was like he went also to Austria and
Yes, yes,
worked
yes.
a year before, and then he saved for his study. And he's like, I saved the money. Let's buy the car together. So we went there, bought the car, and then brought it here to Austria. And we drove it here in Austria with the Bulgarian license plates. A bit of kind of illegal, but it was fine. So because we didn't have the money for buying a trailer or anything like this, so we went to the races with normal license plates and the spare tires in the trunk. And yes,
Yes, yes, yes.
but this was basically really nice experience. Then we started in the street legal class there. Yeah, in 2015, I was the runner-up in Austria. 2016 and 17, 3 times in a row, I was runner-up in street legal class, and then I brought the car back to Bulgaria and bought a stronger engine from another Bulgarian drift pilot, and then went back to Austria to have the opportunity to drive in the kind of the real with the big guys, not street class anymore. But then they stopped the championship in Austria. So after that, I bought the S14 from my mentor back then. And then we started to drive the S14 like in Germany, in Hungary, in Slovenia. Yeah, and this is basically in
Ah,
a very, very short description
I
how it.
understand. I understand. I understand. And of course, you tell us a couple of moments with your car, with your Nissan. Tell me how you discover Adria Drift Series, because in that series it was you, Drew Nitros, the Slovenian drift pilot, Lucas Tobias, if I'm not mistaken, from Austria, driving here in
Mhm.
Adria Drift Series. Tell me how you find the Adria Drift Series as a championship.
As a Adria, it was like before, like I was started just competing just in Austria.
Mm-hmm.
And once the Austrians they stopped the championship, um, because of pollution and governmental stuff, um, we had the cars and me and the because we are like the Nashi Drift dudes, we are like four people from Austria which are driving just Nissans. And we say, okay, now we don't have, we just put so much money into the car so that we can compete in Austria. And the guys like stop the championship. And we're like, okay, let's see around in the neighbor countries where we can go. And Slovenia was where they have races still, which were not extremely expensive because other opportunity would be going to Drift Kings. But Drift Kings, our cars were like really underpowered for this. We went twice there and we didn't even barely manage to the qualifications to the top 32 because yeah, they say, yeah, guys, you can drive the line, but you are not spectacular because you don't smoke like crazy and your cars are not like powerful. And like we said, yes, but we are here to really drive the line and learn driving, right? So it was kind of not our vibe at that moment. And then we went to Slovenia because the cars there were like more or less our power, a bit more powerful, but kind of we could cope with them. So this is how we find out about this.
I understand, I understand. And tell me how is the motorsport in Bulgaria right now, and how is the motorsport in the rest of the Europe, like I say? Do you see a different? Do you see more upgrading on the Bulgarian championship like the rest of the world? Tell me exactly how is the competition?
I mean, honestly, I never drove a competition in my own country in Bulgaria because I'm living in Austria now, and but I have a couple of good friends in Bulgaria, and the people there are building crazy cars. I mean, really. Um, the thing I see as a problem there in Bulgaria that they don't have good tracks to race. I mean, they have all these amazing cars, extremely powerful cars, which need really grippy tires to be run. Uh, but yeah, so the Bulgarian drivers are really strong, I must say. So they are like really pushing the limits of the machinery. And if I compare it like with in the middle Europe, like Slovenia, Austria, Hungary, I mean Hungarians, they are also extremely going
Yes.
crazy with the horsepowers, which I'm not big fan of this because um, yeah, you can compete with less powerful cars and make a really nice competition, just putting the people and into the, like I said, like less powerful cars and then see who is really driving. And the last years, my last competitions, even in Slovenia, they say, and the Hungary, we went there, we drove like a perfect line, like we checked all the clipping points, and then we get really shit scores, and then we went to the jurors and say, guys, we like now be honest with us, we are not complaining on anything. We want to upgrade our skills, and we are here to learn. So just tell us why you're giving us so less points. And they say, yeah, guys, you can drive a good line, but you're not smoking, you're not making huge noise. So that's why in comparison to others, we cannot give you the points. And we were like, but we're here to drive the line because the line is the most difficult things in the competition. And if I have like gazillion horsepower and then like put fourth gear and smash the gas pedal, of course it will smoke like crazy. But is that really the the most important thing in drifting? So there is like where we saw the sport is going to. I think it's also having big influence from USA, which they have like crazy power. I know
Formula
they run
Drift.
like yes, they are also running really grippy tires, but at some point, yeah,
I think in Formula Drift the factory teams are including like for performance or a couple of a couple of brands, if I'm not
yes,
mistaken.
exactly. But you know, the Formula Drift is like the Formula One. Everyone is looking up to them, and they want to kind of copy them, and that's why everyone is like pushing for more power, more power. But for us, it always was like really important to have seat time and go and put lap after lap after lap and go try to learn chasing and learn a good line and we didn't have the money for like upgrading the cars. So that's why we say, okay, we stick to our cars and we try to do better setup, better tires. We try to go to different tracks, different layouts. For us, was always more important driving than horsepower. Um, yeah. So,
Yes,
and
yes.
the Bulgarians, they have, I admire them. They have really crazy builds. They're spending like a lot of hours building the cars, and at the beginning, the cars were like not looking great. Nowadays, there are a couple of people which have really strong cars, I must say. Not all of them, but there are a couple of the professional guys which are really ahead of the game. So I'm really happy for the guys pushing the limits. So
That's for sure. Then it's
yeah.
very, very important to create a strong community to make a great results in the international competition. Now, Nico, let's start to discuss a serious phrase, and of course, two questions in one, like I say. The motorsport in my country is being promoted by two phrases: "Street is not circuit, and champions are in circuit, not in the street."
Mhm.
Tell me, what do you recommend? What can we do? Excuse me, to stop street racing or reduce minimal, like I say. And second, what can we do to convince people to come on events, track days, and other stuff like that? And to complete the third question, of course, we convinced to not make street racing. We convinced to come on events. That's for sure. What we recommend for a rookie or next generation to start with which cars, which tracks, which events? What can we do in this moment?
I mean, this is thank you for the question. It's really great question that about addressing the point that we don't need to race on the road because a lot of one small mistake and then people's life are on the line, right? So in the worst case, you can kill yourself or you can kill other people or injure or like yeah, it's I don't want to think about this. And if I say I didn't do not allow how to say I also went and made stupid stuff on the road back then in the nights, but this is due to people don't have access to track. I think this is my personal opinion that all those people who want to improve their skills and try to learn and want to race, you know how expensive it is to go to the track and have a car and maintain the car and everything, and they think if they are racing on the street they will become a better race drivers, which is it's not the case. All the if you look at the all the great race drivers, they're like really disciplined people and they don't race on the street because they are aware how dangerous it can be. um that's why I say the governments and all the countries they should support motorsport on the racetracks and not make it extremely expensive and forbid it and all this stuff. Another thing is that in our countries the people can drive so fast is because they don't get punished for that. For example, look, Swiss people or Austrians. You know that every 10 kilometers you have a camera and speed tickets, and they are paying a lot of
Yes.
tickets, and me including, because here and there I drive a bit. I mean, I'm not. driving crazy, but you need to have like a 100 kilometer speed limit, and then you pass with 130, and then you get it immediately.
Yes, yes.
So, um, how to put the new generation to go to the track? That's interesting question. And this is a question which I'm really thinking a lot of nowadays. And um, this was the reason why I mentioned before Formula Drift. See, those people are pushing the limit so hard on one hand, which is great for the motorsport and for the spectators. But for another hand, for a normal guy who wants to try it, how? It's like so expensive, extremely expensive. And if you see, there is not that many like academies or places where you can go and try. You either need to know somebody who is owning a race shop, or like he's also involved into racing, so that you're a good friend of, you can ask him, hey, can you come with me to the track, or like give me like one lap with your car. And this is really hard to enter, you know, if you go to compete. And also in the most of the racetracks, they don't have like just you as a normal guy with a normal car can go and pay a small fee to be allowed to go to the track. Um, this is where it sucks, you know, because you cannot expect from a rookie or from a beginner to have like fully prepared car with roll cage and all the suspension and gearbox and engine and all this shit. That's why I think we as a race drivers, we spend a lot of years and money into that. We should support these things, and I'm doing that actually. Recently, I started my own academy. We have an online space. It's an online community where we connect and we exchange information, and I give tips to the people. And every time I go to the track, I always put a second seat, and I always take people with me, like the young generation. It's like this is I'm doing that, enjoying that more like recently than, because before I was like always racing, 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 racing. But after all these years racing and seeing that how expensive it's going to be, now I'm doing more like those kind of chill events, and I go with the friends and they invite their friends and we go and show them. And even yesterday, here in Austria, we launched driving experience in one of the local tracks, where the owner of the track bought three Toyota GT86, and now we will be giving the people the opportunity to come to the track. We will be there as a like the race coaches, and the normal guys can jump into the car with us, and then we go explain the line, explain how the car works, how dynamics of the car is, how you should handle it, and the line and all this stuff. And yeah, I'm really looking into that, because the owner of the track now is really also motivated to push that more and more, so that the people are like gaining more skills, and the entry barriers is like really low now. You know, a normal guy can afford it really easily, and to spend a couple of hours with us. And then if he's interested, we give them after that guidance and support on choosing a chassis and
Yes,
maintenance
yes,
and like
yes.
that. And the rest of your question, you mentioned that chassis. I mean, it depends what you want to drive. If you want to go drifting or speed racing, or um, I assume we can start with drifting, because I have more
That's
knowledge
for
on that.
sure. Yes, yes, yes.
Um, I started with Nissan because I always loved the Japanese culture and the Japanese driving style. Actually, this was what ignited me. You know, all these crazy Japanese videos where they drive crazy close to the wall, and they drive the dog, and they drive like crazy cars. And this was like kind of fascinating how those people are able to drive the cars like this. So that's why I bought that Nissan. at the beginning. And then I stick always with the Japanese cars because the drifting was invented in Japan, right?
Yes, yes.
Uh, but now, back then, those S chassis were relatively cheap. Now they're extremely expensive. Extremely
Yes,
expensive.
and of course it's gonna be a couple of hundreds of euros, dollars, whatever you want to say, to prepare a good car and of course to compete in best competitions like Formula Drift, Drift Masters Europe, Drift Kings, and of course other national and international competition, like I say. Before we end in the interview, and thank you so much, Nico, to accept my invitational. You respond all my question, like I say. So you try to
Yeah.
upgrading the questions with a couple of answer to question, and it's very good if you asking me. If you guys, if you have other questions for Niko Stefanov, or maybe if you want to be interested about the NS Race Academy, Niko
Yeah.
Stefanov Race Academy, all right. I will let you all the social media in the description down below about Niko Stefanov and his academy. If you want to come to join his community, or maybe if you have a couple of questions, it's very easy in the comment section down below. Also, we have a Q&A session, a traditional Q&A session, and you put all the question for the Niko Stefanov. Of course, when he see the interview, he will respond all the questions. So social media, comment section down below, or both. You decide in that point. Tell me before we end the interview. It's gonna be a good question. See you in Drift Masters Europe in 2025.
No, that's definitely not going to happen. Um, I was thinking a lot. Maybe one day I will manage to go to the Drift Masters as a driver. Not 25 for sure, maybe not 26. But let's see. As I said, now I'm more focused on like upgrading my skills, and that's why I'm putting so much effort into the academy and teaching people because through the teaching I'm learning also a lot, and I enjoy that. And maybe one day, if we are like, if I manage to do it, I would love to go to Drift Masters because the people they are like insane. Yeah, for the moment, like I say, I will stick to just improving the skills and learning more. And one day, who knows? Maybe one day you can see me there. Yeah.
Yes, that's for sure. And of course, a lot of national and international competition in drift in that moment. So, before we end the interview, do you have other something to say? Or let's see the question about the community.
What I just want to finish the answer for the which car they should start. I mean, this is really good question, and um, for the beginning, even though I'm like a extremely Japanese fan, for the beginning, the easiest way is to buy a BMW, really, because they
Everyone
are
tell this.
I
Everyone.
mean, they're crazy cheap, extremely cheap. And if you are at the beginning of your career, like you want to try it, this is the easiest way.
Which model you recommend? The
Like,
Eurofighter, the
no,
E36?
no, no. All the just take a cheap third series. Like, I mean, if you 328, 330, or even 325, just get your hands dirty, buy one cheap chassis, weld the diff, put the hydraulic handbrake, put a good seat, and go drive. And you will see if you like it or not. If you don't like it, fine. You spend like 4K, that's fine. If you have a bit more budget, buy a Japanese car at the beginning. Because even if you don't like it and you don't like the sport or whatsoever, you can still sell it on a good price. Because the Japanese cars, like all the S chassis, 350Z, even Toyota GT86, I mean, they're a bit more expensive, 15, 20K. But in our countries, you can find, or like get some slightly crashed car, try to repair it, go to the local race tracks, go to the local race shops, like ask them for help. Say, go guys, I'm like new to this. I would like to try it. Can you help me repairing it? I don't have money to pay you, but I can do kind of advertising for you. You help me repair my car. I go to the track, put some stickers on my car with your name, and I all say to all my friends, go to that workshop. They are really nice guys,
For
and so on.
sponsors. Yes,
Yes,
yes.
I mean, sponsors at the beginning is really hard. But at the beginning, I assume that people don't know a lot of a lot of
Knowledge,
how to
a
repair
lot
the
of
car,
knowledge.
right? Yeah, they have no knowledge to to repair the car, tune it. Then go to the race shop, talk to the people. Most
Yes.
of the workshop owners are nice guys, and they will say, okay, they see a young guy or girl, they say, okay, let's put some hours, help her. Not giving the money because at the beginning nowadays it's really hard to ask the money for the money, and I assume at the beginning they don't have any
A
good
good, a
anything to
good
show,
budget.
Yes, but then can start slowly, build a couple of friends because at the beginning, repairing the car and tuning it will be the hardest for anyone. You go to the
Mm-hmm.
track, put some mileage, you maybe damage the car, crash it a little bit, like disc brakes, differential brakes, motor brakes, whatever breaks. And if you don't have the knowledge or the place to repair it, you just stop and cannot go. But if you make some friends with the local car shops, you can say, make a deal with them. Hey guys, I would like to start racing or start going to the track, and I'm trying to do this and that. Can you help me? The first couple of people may say no, but then you go to the fifth or the sixth shop, and some guy can say, oh, maybe see this young generation wants to do something. Then make some deal with them, like say, you give me permission to use your shop, and maybe the guy also helps there, learn something with them, goes to the racetrack, he's promoting the shop, and then it builds, so goes to the track, back and forth. And then after a couple of times going to the track, he wants to update the like engine, like bigger this, bigger that, blah 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 blah. So then he forms relationship with the car shop. Then he needs more tires. Then he starts to walk into the city to the tire shops. Hey guys, can I use your old tires, which you are anyways throwing away? Or I give you like really €5 per tire and you give me like a middle class tire. And then this is also and building it like this.
Yes, yes, and it's very, very important to start. And after that, of course, the motorsport career is been in a good moment for you if you have a couple of results like podiums on your first year on your class to confirm that. So, guys, thank you so much to see another episode in Motorsport International with Niko Stefanov, drift pilot in a couple of drift competition as well. If you want to come on Motorsport International and if you want to tell us your story, results, achievements, and much more, and of course, you know Nico is very easy. Contact Nico. After that, he contact me. I also send him an invitation to invite other people to confirm this. And of course, it's very very important, guys, to tell us your story, results, achievements, and much more. Also, I try to invite other people for Motorsport International again to tell us his motorsport story, because every motorsport story have a great succeed on the backstage, like I say. So, guys, until next time, I'm Baicu Vlad-Andrei. With me was Niko Stefanov. Good luck in the 2025, and let's see how it goes, the drift competition. Remember, guys, street is not circuit. You are the best, and let's go racing. Vroom.